Ladies, feminism has seriously altered and ruined a lot of your minds, all right? This is some of the most degenerate shit in history, all right? This is probably number one degenerate shit in history books right now. And she just acts like she's proud of it. Like, she's so, like, happy and, oh my, I'm gonna do this thing. Fucking disgusting. Just look at it. Ugh!
Tell us how you are going to break the world record for sleeping with the most men in one day.
Well, it's actually brothers that are going to help me. I'm trying to get 1,000 guys in 24 hours. My plan kind of is it needs to be a room with 2 doors is what we're trying to work out. Like, the logistics of this is insane, because one thing, it's hard enough getting 1,000 guys together. It's another thing actually, like, making sure they all do it in the time limit. So honestly, I'm just hoping for, like, a conveyor belt of, like, they need to kind of, like, walk in the room, one pump in, one pump out, and then leave.
What's the current world record, though?
It's 919. But I want to get to 1,000 because, like, 900 is weak. You may as well have got to 1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
24 hours, though.
This is why I'm training. I've done the 100. I'm doing 300 in, like, a few weeks.
It's like a boxing match.
It really is. It really is. But I think as long as they're in, out, it's going to be pretty quick. I think I'll get sore towards the end, but I think I've got the right determination just to be able to push on.
So this OnlyFans creator, Lily Phillips, wants to sleep with 1,000 men. 1,000 men. Can we just, like, fellas, how sad do you have to be to sign up for that? Like, is she just scraping the bottom of barrel of men she can find, like any homeless man on the street? She's like, can you sign up for this? But, like, the logistics of getting 1,000 dudes in a room and then having those 1,000 dudes stay there for a 24-hour period, or is it going to be like a revolving door where they just have everybody with, like, you know, a 2-minute slot and you just time in, time out, time in, time out? You know what I mean? Like, just in. But to get 1,000 men to wait in line for the greatest roast beef ever.
Arby's, we have the meat.
But yeah, fellas, how sad can you be to actually sign up for this? And not only that, imagine being the last man in line, number 1,000. All right. Well, technically, like, with her body count, it's already, what did she just say? She said she's training, you know, so she did 100. She's going to do 300. Let's talk about that 100 real quick, okay? She seems all hunky-dory now, but let's take a look into the past, all right, and see how she felt when she did the 100.
How are you feeling?
Surprisingly, downstairs is not really sore.
Okay.
It's more just tired. My eyes sting like nothing else.
Why?
Because of all the cum in it. I think I repeatedly said, you can come on my face, but not in my eye.
And they just went right at the eyes.
Well, I think like it might have been an accident. But no, I mean, I've definitely seen some spunk today, Jesus. And it just took definitely a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I think it was when it was only like 40 and I was like, I'm not even halfway yet.
Yeah.
And 40 is still a lot of people. Like, imagine 40 people and be like, I'm not even halfway, like, done.
When was the last time you ate?
I had I think I had a yam yam. Yam yam, is that what they're called? A little pastry. And I think I had a sandwich, and that was kind of, and then the rest come. It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it, like.
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out, like it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely. Sorry.
It's okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute. You know when I talked to you last, like I was not nervous, it was like the day before, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. But it was good, it was more, I guess the interactions weren't like, I'd have to stop them early and like, you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
And that's what's making you feel emotional, is that maybe you think you didn't give some guys a good enough time today?
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish, I've come all this way, like kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. I felt bad, like some people just travel so far, like I didn't want to give them a shit time and like come away from this and be like, oh, that was shit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're going to do this, and like it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal sex at all. In my head right now I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know. But yeah, I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
It's just sad to watch. Like, clearly this woman isn't okay mentally. Like, she needs to be, you know, sat down. I don't believe in therapy, but this woman needs a stern talking to, something, a hug. I don't even know. Like, to think that you owe men anything when you're setting up and giving yourself to them, basically, is insanity. Like, clearly she's a people pleaser, and she takes that shit to heart, and she just like, in her eyes, she talk about her eyes hurt. Oh my God, dude. Like, how many, like, I don't even want to think about, like, what happened, all right? Just, this woman is sad all around, okay? She talked about not only remembering a few of them and, you know, having 30 to 40 and still had another, you know, 60 to go. But she thinks that she's going to, this was only 100, all right? This was 100. She did 100, completed it. Achievement unlocked. But then she instantly, you know, you can tell she's feeling some type of regret. She's feeling, you know, sad about herself. She may be thinking like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done this. But she wants to do 300 next to train for this 1,000. She's going to be on suicide watch. Because already with the 100, she's on edge. Like, she's crying her eyes out. But I just don't want to see what happens next. You know what I mean? Like, somebody save her. Jesus, come down and smite this hoe. Don't smite her fully, you know? Don't fully smite her, but, like, smite her enough that she learns her lesson.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
I'm almost, like, 100% sure that this is when the next pandemic is going to start. Once she does that 1,000. Like, she's going to be patient zero.
Subject is female, likely 18 to 20 years of age. Dilated push only sedates effectively at 6 times human dose. Core temperature 106 Fahrenheit, pulse 200 beats.
Fellas, if you have a daughter at home, go ahead and give her a hug, all right? Tell her you love her. Because you don't want her to end up like this woman, all right? You know, basically begging for the exception of other men and giving her most private self to random strangers for some kind of inflated goal she has in her mind that will supposedly make her successful in her own right.
I did it! I did it! I am a wild success! You don't have to be embarrassed by me anymore!
And it's just sad because, you know, I blame men a lot because the men are what's kind of, allowing this to happen. A bunch of weak motherfuckers are, around now. So women think that they have to do things differently. Not as before where, they could just be housewives and homemakers and stay-at-home moms and take care of the children and things like that. Now, they believe they have to, be a boss babe and, a bad bitch and, number one on social media. Like, I don't know if you know this, ladies, but no man really wants their woman in the public eye. All right, we can understand you're attractive, so you're a sight to see to other men. But like, no man wants his woman actively putting stuff out there into the ether, into the world that other men can see, and then keep for themselves or have a little. It's just weird. Like, why share yourself privately, publicly? Or why share your private self publicly? That's a better way of saying it. Why share your private self publicly? Just to be a bad bitch? A boss babe? Does she look like a bad bitch? A boss babe? Are those boss babe tears coming down? Is that what bad bitches do nowadays?
Definitely.
Sorry. Okay. It's okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
Oh, man. And just the simp men, just allowing it. We can't stop her because, feminism, poisoned her mind. So, and women think they can do everything nowadays. So we're going to let her run it. So we're going to let it run its course. And, we'll be here for the next video when she's crying her eyes out. But this is sad. And to all ladies out there,
Stop being a whore.